Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities and Miniatures. We're back with more Conquest stuff. And we've got something that I've wanted to get my hands on for some time, and that are the Incarnate Sentinels for the Spires. And if there's one thing you can say about Conquest, it's that they've got very unique models. And as the line and the various factions continue to develop, I mean, they are coming up with more and more interesting and bizarre things. He's got what looks like mouths in his knees. I think it's a knee. I think it's that one right there, maybe. I just don't know what's going on with these. They've got these skulls in their upper chest, but I think this is actually their head. I don't know what's going on with them, but we've seen like the Avatara, which I think are kind of a similar idea design-wise, in that they're kind of like, you know, manufactured creations. But I have no idea. I guess I could probably look at the fluff on the box there. As always, we've got the cards. We've got printed directions, which we'll probably need because they look a fair bit more complex than some of the basic infantry. The, what, 60 millimeter, 60-ish millimeter? I don't think they're 50s. Do we have a 50? That is a... Okay, maybe they're 50. I don't know. Big sized monstrous infantry bases. And 2 sprues that are going to make 3 infantry models. Monstrous infantry models at that, let's clarify. So you can see they're armed with these really big hammers. There's lots of little parts. These are the sprues that are manufactured by Archon. So if your only exposure to Conquest plastics are the older stuff, rest assured these are pretty top-notch quality. Although this kit was originally done in resin. They were one of the very few resin monstrous infantry units, and then made the transition, much like the bow chosen for the Nords, into plastic. I haven't picked up any of the plastic bow chosen because I already have some. Not that I've painted that many of them yet, but, you know, someday. I mean, I'm just like looking at this and it's got like the little hanging metal decal emblem things, much like the Avatara did. I mean, I don't know what's going on with these big pieces of armor. I'm going to imagine they're fairly large once they're finished. On average, Conquest models tend to be on the bigger side of things as it is, and considering these are on larger bases, I'm imagining they're going to be pretty impressive when they're put together. So I am going to go get started on that. Like I said, looks like we're going to be putting the top parts of the torso and the bottom together. I wonder if they are somewhat modular or if every torso is going to be built for one pair of legs. Curious about that. We'll see how things turn out in just a sec. If you want to find out, sit tight. Okay, our Sentinels are now incarnate. So let's take a look at them. So, right off the bat, they're kind of hard to discern all the details just with the bare plastic, but I would almost argue that that is also the case when you see them painted. I think it's just kind of the design, and for whatever reason, my eye is always going to be drawn to the skull sitting there right in the center of their chest. That's just where my eyes go. I don't know why. I mean, honestly, the first time I saw these things, I couldn't even tell they had heads. But they actually do have a couple of different heads. You can have a better look at it there. And they have 2 connection points, actually, which was kind of interesting. Both the neck and then the throat, which was kind of neat. The shoulder pads are separate pieces here that need to get glued on. And unfortunately, everything is slotted and designed for just one specific Sentinel. So you'll see that I left off the torso and I made a big, ungainly, unsightly, gluey mess trying to attach their arms. Yes, unfortunately, getting the arms attached was not the easiest chore. I tried gluing the arms together first, gluing the upper arms. I tried a variety. I think I tried a different method on every single guy, and I can't really say which worked best. So as I was saying about the heads, everybody has 2 head options and then 2 weapon options. So despite the sameness of these guys, there is a bit of variety right out of the box. You can build, 6 unique heads, 6 unique weapons, so that's not too bad. And again, as I was saying, the keyed section on each of them is different. I was curious about that, and no, it did not work out the way that I would have liked them to. Finally, we have the third one, who I am having an issue with just because of the angle that the body is at. I figured I would leave things unattached on the top just to make painting easier. I did glue them on the bases. And he stays together okay like that. But these things are just so kind of ungainly and just bizarre in their proportions and the way they seem to be moving. It's fantastic. It is so absolutely Spires styled models. And when you have them hanging out with other Spire models, you see the real fun, I think, of the faction. The Centaur Avatara, still being one of my favorite models of the lineup, also in plastic. The basic Avatara, which I still feel should have some kind of like upgrade kit just to make even more interesting variations of them. They're big models. I mean, even by Conquest standards, when you have a standard size human, that should give you an idea of what these things are in terms of sizes. As my camera is about to fall off the edge of the table here. That would not be good. There we go. The basic Avatar being the tallest, but then again, I think the bulk of these Incarnate Sentinels is pretty impressive too. But then just the craziness and elaborateness of the Centaurs is pretty impressive as well. Grabbing some other Spire models I have laying around. I still am not a big fan of the drones, the force grown bat drones or whatever. Just the basic infantry guys that came in the original box set. Wasn't a fan. Liked the concept, didn't care for the models a whole lot. Liked almost everything since, but you need some kind of like bulked out basic unit. I mean, unless you want to just go full on, fancy, weird, elaborate stuff. I mean, which is possible too. But I just haven't been impressed with a lot of their basic infantry. They've been fun, some of them. I think probably the standouts for me still are the archers in terms of just the basic guys. But when it comes to like character models, I think they're a lot more fun. We have both the resin and the plastic version of the Executor. And I think when you take into effect all of the various styles of models at this point available for Conquest, there's just such interesting, unique looking figures. What else we got? I got just one for every faction almost. I don't have any city-states looking at. What's on? Here we go. I got a city-state guy. Whee! I do appreciate the fact that all of our various factions at this point in the game are all quite unique looking. Sure, there's some of the typical token. Oh, no, don't have an Nord. Don't have any Nords. Speaking of those bow chosen. Got one right here. And there's Narga Kuraga colors. But anyway, I mean, the factions are all pretty unique. As we can see with these Sentinels, very visually different and distinct. And I think one of the cool things about having such unique models is even if you aren't really going to get invested in playing the full rank and file game, that is actually totally okay because they have a skirmish mode available. So if you just want to have smaller scale battles and have a couple boxes of figures, that is a viable game option. But when you have such unique looking things, I think you also have that opportunity to really slot them into whatever games you're playing, if you're not limited to purchasing games or rules for only one type of model. If you're a little bit more flexible and enjoy some freedom with your gaming, I think these are a lot of fun models, and I could see people really going to town with just kind of, weird demon chaos type creatures, and I could see all kinds of weird bioorganic stuff getting slapped on these things as well. I think that'd be a lot of fun. So hopefully we will see these things back on a video some Monday in the near future, when I always put up the painting progress videos every Monday. If you are just stumbling upon these videos now, you can always check those out. And I can pretty much guarantee we'll see more Conquest stuff in the future, because I really enjoy it. So with that said, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and we will see you back here soon. Bye-bye.